Alright, a wonderful good morning, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It is Sunday morning, 7 o'clock, and the only time that I have time to actually record a video. As some of you already know, I went to GP Bilbao last weekend and with a couple of friends, and it worked out quite well. I went 11-4 and made 73rd, so got into the top 100 out of 1,615 players, and it was a blast. I only lost to Green Red Land Destruction, 2 times Is It Pheonix, and 1 time Tron. I was playing Blue White Control though, not Grixis. But today we're back on Grixis, and these are the cards that I currently have access to and that are somewhat relevant. So for the main board, we went completely instant speed except for like a little bit Jace Vince Prodigy here with discard action. And the reason for that is that we cannot deal with enchantments, and that's like the only way once it's on the board that we like bounce it with a cryptic command or preemptively like get rid of it, like Power Man's Ascension, Jeskai Ascendancy, Blood Moon, all that jazz. And like having additional counter spells here is not as important. Also, of course, it just protects our Jace. And since we're still running a lot of creatures, I opted to play Jace over Search for Scanta. And then for the sideboard, I want to have Kalitas. With this here, that's fine. I'm gonna go with 2 Spreading Seas for Tron, because I think that Tron is actually... Where is my Fulminator Mage though? That Tron is actually becoming more and more prevalent in the meta, because they actually have quite a decent matchup both against all the Graveyard-centric decks, Dredge and Pheonix, but also against those that try to prey on those. And therefore, that is pretty alright. The only thing that I could imagine doing here is actually, instead of Thoughtseize, going with Spell Pierce. Thoughtseize is so bad because it's just super aggressive right now. And with Spell Pierce in the mix, yeah, I think that's actually quite nice, but not 2 copies. I would then want to have Burst Lightning. 1 copy of Burst Lightning here. Why do I have 6? No, actually, just going with the Grim Lavamancer. Yep, that seems to be appropriate. So then we can cut that one. This one goes here. Abrade is fine. I want to have Spreading Seas though. All of this is alright, but not super great. So Terminate, Fatal Push, we just count on the things that we have in our main board. I don't want to be boarding spot removal. Bedevil is a thing with so many counter spells. I think I'm going to cut that as well, because Bedevil would only be there for the blue-white control matchup, but I think we can handle that one as well. Additional counter magic, and then there's Abrade. So Rizefall, of course, against combo, but I think we can cut that as well. Rakdos Charm, now we're down to 18, cutting 3. I will leave Commandeer in, just because, not only because of Tron, etc., but also because Pheonix, for instance, boards in sometimes a Chandra or a Jace, and when that resolves and we're tapped out, we just can get cut off. And I just want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And we're also heavily in blue right now, so that should not be a big deal to make Commandeer accessible, but 1 Commandeer is probably enough. And then I don't think that I want to cut a braid here. We're gonna go with counter squall because we already have 11 counter spells in our main board. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, so let's go. Grixis control. What else can I say about last weekend? Bilbao actually is a super nice city. Was really surprised. Also, an awesome venue that we had there. Was pretty cool. The only real pain point I do have is that Channel Fireball did not do any coverage of the event, and I think also, well, not any coverage isn't true, but no video coverage. It was just Frank Carsten doing Frank Carsten stuff. So we're gonna fetch blue, red here. Hope that our opponent's not on burn or any other hyper-aggressive strategy. We can go chop chop, chop chop. All right. So this is unfortunate in a couple of ways. Yeah, we probably just want to be playing a... So if we're playing green-red land destruction here right now, which we apparently are, or mono green land destruction is also a possibility. Cannot really use Field of Ruin. I think if we tap out here for a Jace, then we're probably gonna get punished. And he's gonna go big. But not playing anything. Like, he can't get rid of our Jace right now. So... yeah, I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. Oh yeah, sure. Perfect. So I do not want to get rid of Field of Ruin here. I think I'm just gonna get rid of Serum Visions because of the Trinisphere. And then we'll see what's going on. So we could bounce the Trinisphere. Could also bounce Forest, but it appears that it does have enough anyway, and we're just looking for Call guns command. That's also right. So Snapcast has a 7 mana spell combined with Cryptic right now. So I think Jace just sticks up. Logic Knot also evades Trinisphere pretty neatly, I think. So let's see. Yeah, it does indeed. And that's actually worth quite a lot here. Like, we don't need to do it right now in this order, but cancel. I want to protect our graveyard a little bit. So this is 2/2, he should be able to play 2, right? Maybe if he does have a Simmons Bird Guide. So I'm just going to be extra careful. Also pretty good. So we don't have Snapcaster Cryptic, but we do have Snapcaster Logic Knot. Oh my goodness. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, he gave up. Cool. So I'm not actually sure if he's playing any creatures or if that's just mono green Charbelcher or something. So I think, well, he's playing Arbor Elves, so that's still a fact. Nimble is fine, Commandeer, it's alright. Acquisition won't help us a lot, I believe. Put a one fail push as well to get into upgrades. And then actually Spreading Seas is pretty good here because it can't fuck with his Utopia Sprawls, because they can only enchant forests. If we make it an island, then the Utopia Sprawls fall off. So you'll probably bring in Graveyard Hate, I would imagine. But you can also deal Alright, I'll just... This would be Charbelcher, but that doesn't look like it's what we just saw, right? And if that's not the case, then I think maybe we're just not going with Jace and going as much instant speed as we possibly can. His name is even Terra Destroy. Alright. Must be Land Destruction then. Okay, most horrible hand in history. Also, I don't know how the program manages that, but like, I think somewhere in the algorithm there is That's not good for us. So we need to hope that we do not run into a Blood Moon here. It's a Vastwood Seer. Okay. When does she flip? And whenever a land it'll blow. If you control 7 or more lands, and that just goes to hand. Okay. Yep. I'm actually like, if he doesn't play anything, I will not fetch. I want to have. No. Again, playing around at least one copy of the thing. So we could make him discard, but he could also have a Baloth. And I think it's better for us to just go and try to find some lands. Another Vastwood Seer, alright. Do not actually mind that. Alright. Alright, let's see if we're gonna run into a Baloth here. It's definitely mono green with this ramp land destruction sub theme. So that doesn't look like he's got a Baloth, otherwise he would have snapped that. And we, by the way, also need a Snapcaster Mage. Or more counter magic. Really not good that we haven't found any. Yeah, I put one cryptic command to the bottom, but at that point we weren't able to play it at any points. So. Walking Ballista, okay. Hello, program. Just like to play land, please. Okay. So we're getting 2 for 1 the whole lot here. Chose the creature. Oh, come on. Okay, just quit. Alright, just moved a little bit to stabilize the internet connection. That's not good. That is not good. Hopefully not acidic slime. But let's see. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would argue that we're gonna kill. So this is currently on 3, so that's parity with that one. We're killing this because it might flip, and he clearly wants it to flip. So do we mine right now? We do to a certain degree, right? But there's also not anything too important in our graveyard. Okay. Actually, might still be going with 7 Visions over Spring Seas. That's both not good. And then I think I'm gonna go after Nyctus nonetheless. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Without he has 7, maybe he has an 8 mana spell in hand. He left 2 mana open. Why would he do that? Just for the relic. Alright. The problem is that we're already close to dying. If we don't find removal. Okay. Okay, good. Good. So we only take 4 this turn, and that will perfect. Now we need him to just draw blanks for a little while, so that he might either crack the relic or for us to draw cryptic commands. Don't mind that really. So a card from a graveyard. Here, have a braid. Okay, Surgeons. Now we need to find stuff. Fatal Push is not super bad, not super good. I think I want to have Cryptic Commands first. And now we can be looking for a win condition in the Bull Obstructionist. What? Okay. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. What the fuck? So all of this fuck is 2 for winning us. That is really not a good place to be in as a control player. So Fatal Push being at its worst here. We cannot kill that thing. Sadly. Now we put Cryptic Command on top, which I think is the correct decision, but now he'll draw an extra card off of that or Han Viper. Just hoping that he has significantly more land in this deck than we do, or dead cards for that matter. Certainly not. Certainly not. Oh man. So also he's keeping 1 card in his hand for the entire game already with 5 mana, so I think that I'm gonna block the Viper here with Unnimble. Although that's a little sad because I would like to get the Relic here if possible. That doesn't sound feasible. Are you fucking with me? Alright, so this is significantly more creatures than I anticipated. So I think we're gonna go K commands. Did we cut? No, we didn't. So that's very good. I was just looking for Grim Lavamancer. Okay, that makes sense for him to keep that one in hand. Alright. Now, of course, we're tapped out for our counter. You get another Nissa. Yeah. Ah, this is really fucked up. Alright, let's concede, I think. Probably need like 8 minutes for last game because it's such a major fuck up. I haven't seen him going really big yet though. Like I would actually like to know what's going on here. These things are really, 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 really annoying. Nothing I'm too afraid of though. Okay, cryptic commands. But I don't see a sequence where we get rid of 3 of these through a relic. Alright. So I'm gonna cut this again. Although no, I'm not, because we could potentially also just kill one of his lands. A braid is still good. This one might go. This one comes in. Rest is fine, I believe. We could think about bringing in Kalitas because he's playing so freaking many creatures and he does not have good removal. So maybe one Kalitas is good here. Alright. So hopefully he does have in Utopia Sprawl instead of creature here. No, of course not. So that's probably going to be in the Savastic Sea. Turn 2. Just need to draw cards into some sort of removal here. There we go. The Viper. So now the question becomes, are we actually going to go after the Viper? Or are we going to go after the Elves? Because I think we're going to go after the Elves actually. I would much rather have him not play a fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck. 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 There we fucking go, I knew it. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. He's probably only playing 4 land destruction spells, so him having 1 in hand here again on turn 4. Pretty nasty. Oh yeah, and the city slime, sure. Okay. One more. One more and we'll be getting there again. Just lands. Oh. He has Eternal Witness in hands. I guess. But if he does, I don't think it matters. So now we actually can do something again. I'm impressed. So we already lost Watergrave and Steam Vents, so Bloodstained Mire is gonna fetch for Steam Vents, and the other two are fetching basic. Certainly not. Steam Vents, shock. So I assume that if we were playing against red green, land destruction, then we wouldn't have a chance here to come back again anymore because he would have just punished us with blood moons and all that jazz. Probably also, like when I was playing in Bilbao, I also got caught by choke, so we had choke and blood moon on the board in game 3, which was not super great, to say the least. So I'm gonna braid and then we're just gonna protect here. This thing's gone and now we're gonna attack. Sure. Alright, now we should be through the door here. He also kindly plays Nyktos so that we can also get a Black Swords. And now we're good. Was closer than I hoped though, gotta admit. He's got 11 mana. Yeah, why not? This normally I wouldn't do this play, but like because we already have one basically. But also can't hurt in this position, I guess. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. All right, let's talk about Modern Horizons, because the cards I believe to be in there: Containment Priest and Baleful Strix, just some good value creatures that can't do any harm to Modern, basically. And once Baleful Strix comes out, we of course have another great tool that doesn't help us against any of the graveyard-centric strategies, but Containment Priest will be great nonetheless. Faithless Looting needs to be banned. It's just not a healthy card for the format. And what people don't understand is it can be replaced by other cards. It's just making things a little bit slower, and that's really important and good for the meta. But yeah, so Baleful Strix, Containment Priest, which other cards were there that could be really safely printed into Modern? I think Caracas would probably be fine as well, although they won't print that into Modern. Would be nice though. Okay, we have a decent hand. Hopefully we're hitting off a nope, we are not. So you could be thinking that we're actually playing Pheonix. Oh yeah, by the way, greetings to those who recognize me in Bilbao with Jeskai. Now we have to be a little bit more careful with our life totals, but I do want to have access to Ionize. Let's see. Does not have Cryptic Mana as of now, and he would have played a blue source if he had one, so I assume that Plains is his last land in hand. So I think we're gonna go with Snapcaster Mage here. If he does have a path, then he can path it, and I wouldn't mind. If it just dies, that's fine as well, because it doesn't do anything good for us right now. And if he tries to electrolyze it, which would be the best case scenario for him, then we're gonna Spell Pierce. Nope. Okay. Definitely the mana that we need. There's a path. All right. Yeah, I think that's fine. See, and there we go. Sucks a little bit that we actually do not have the capabilities to stop it here. But we do have 2 field runes in our deck. So there we go. It's keeping the card on top. That might obviously. Normally I would kill the Hallowed Fountain here, but that's probably not a good advice. Fatal Push is not going to do any good here anyway. Therefore, kind of fine. Supreme Verdict, sure. So, of course, we could be waiting with our Nimble Obstructionist for another fetch land for opponents. Sure. Nope. All right. All right, he kept on top, so I'm gonna go return discard. Okay. So we already lost 1 Snapcaster Mage, 1 Nimbles in the bin. So we really have 5 cards right now that we want to draw, but we also have 10 damage in our hands already. Okay. We need to get rid of one of our spells as well. Okay. Finally, a fetch land so that we can fuel Logic Knot a little bit, because so I would actually like to counter this, especially because he used 2 islands to do it. I assume that he's just going to go with Lightning Helix and then tries to threaten us. So if we're going down to 10, it's worth to fight for the Snapcaster Mage here. Then 9, then we're 3 bolts away from dying. We could Ionize for 3, and then we still have 2 counterspells up. I think that's fine. So that's going to be a Cryptic. I'm probably going to hit it with a Spell Pierce because he's getting a lot of mana. That's another Logic Knot. No, it's a Cryptic command. So if we go Cryptic, then we're pretty fucked. So I'm just going to go with the Spell Spears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could, in theory, flip the Surge. Okay, he decides not to flip the Surge. That's fine with me. Okay. Has a Logic Knot. So Snapcaster Mage, any Bolt, any Colligan's command is good enough here. Cryptic is not though. Cryptic is not. It's even more problematic than that because we have to keep the Field of Ruin around all the time because of the Surge. Therefore, we're lacking a blue source right now. So I just assume that he does not have another counterspell. Like, he's playing so many counterspells on 2. So I'm gonna bounce the Surge Voice Cancer. Hope for Colligan's come on. Oh, come on! Too many cryptics, fuck. Oh man. Okay. Don't think that we will get out from underneath here. We're good for the most part of the game. But that amount of counter spells here is really awkward. He must have another cryptic in hand, otherwise he wouldn't do this. What a draw by our opponent. Okay. So Terminate's gonna go, Fiddle Push is probably also gonna go. I want to have this, and I want to have Spreading Seas, and probably Fulminator Mages as well. Grimlow Mansa, not though. Spell Pierce, still fine. One could also argue about Neil Spellbomb, but for right now I won't. Yeah, I'm good with this. Of course, if we knew that we had a Spell Pierce in hand, we could easily take the draw here. But not if we don't know. So our opponent is playing significant amounts of counter magic main board already. I'm gonna play this tapped right now because I, on the one hand, want to lure him into playing Search for Scanta. On the other hand, I do not want to take a lot of damage. Okay, it doesn't have Search. That is going to be beautiful. Got you, bitch. So next turn we have Nimble, can get it back with Colligan's Command and protected with Spell Pierce, which is pretty neat. Okay. So I think red is more important than white, and therefore we're going to go after the red source. So probably negate in hand. and not a logic knot. Lol. Sure. So that's already desperation here, what we see. No, I think it's a pretty good game. Yep. So Spell Pierce was great. He does not board out. Yeah, I think that we're actually gonna go with Nil Spellbomb over the Jace. So we need to find more lands. There we go. Currently, Jessica lists are only playing one Searchwise Counter, I think. Might be mistaken, of course. Enjoy your last fetchable land. Alright, digging already. Might also just be the case that he's trying to fill his graveyard for a logic knot, because we know he's playing a couple. Okay, so same draft. That's very unfortunate, to say the least. So I guess he's holding up a Dispel. Which might or might not be in our favor. Bottom, top, this one, and go. Guys, of course, is really nasty for us, especially if he has backup dispels. Only one red source though. Jace. Lol. there's the Dispel. Alright. We're still gonna kill it if we want to. And then take 6 on the swing back, I think. So what did you do? Well, we'll see anyway. Yeah, he put a card on top. If he doesn't know, we want to add that card. So the way all this played out up until now, I think that he actually does not have a removal. So if we go Snap Bolt here, which probably is the best option because that protects us in a certain way. Alright. Well, friend, if you don't have anything to do, then we can also easily attack you. Okay. So we definitely have more relevant cards in our deck, in our hand than he does. Because basically all of our cards are relevant and, well, none of his are. But I would expect at least 2 counter spells in his hand. I don't mind if he shoots off one of our creatures. Tap all creatures your opponent controls, draw a card. Sure. Sorry, just a second. Hello? Oh my goodness, sorry. Shit. I just outplayed him and I forgot to turn on the video again, so damn it. I was just continuing to talk here. Counter target spell, draw card. So since we have, do we have lethal 5? Yeah, we do. So it doesn't really matter what we counter, I'm just going for Teferi anyways. Now we could have counter, yeah. Okay. Counter tapped as well. So I'll be right back. All right, let's go for round number 3 here. That was quite a fun game, although pretty much interrupted by a whole lot of things. And beating a turn 3 Geisters in draft, first have to accomplish. By the way, I also did that in Bilbao. No. Better. So I'm just going to start off with Grim Lavamancer here, and then we can decide on whether or not we want to go Serum Visions turn 2 and Inquisition. Oh, ad nauseam. So our life tools don't really matter all that much. So we're gonna have a look first. Trying to find a Nimble in time to catch off that Lotus Bloom. He already has a Nauseam and Spoils in hand. I think we're gonna try to catch the Phyrexian Unlife with our Counter School next turn. And just go after Spoils of the Vault here. Although that can exile things, but maybe not. It's a legitimate win condition to have Spoils just discard all of his win conditions. So, and this way we can play the Chase next turn without having to fear that thing. And then we have Inquisition again, so. Also, Grim Lavamancer protects us from his second win condition pretty neatly. Another Lotus Bloom, alright. Second one is not as good. So we're just gonna attack in here. Okay, so he doesn't have white mana yet, which is important for him. What could happen though, if he finds a counterspell here in time. So let's see. Put a card to the bottom, put a card to the top. So right now I assume that he's looking for lands primarily, but he could also be going for a Pact of Negation. And if he's going for a Pact, shit. So he did not find the land there. I think we're going to discard the Cryptic Command here, go with Snapcaster Mage. Inquisition him, then we counter the Lotus Bloom. And then if everything goes wrong, oh shit, no, that was a mistake. obviously. I was caught up in my own thoughts here. He already has everything. So he's got 5 mana afterwards. Echoing Truth is not really relevant. So if he topped a land, which is very likely, then he does have the mana to go off. But this way, at least he has to use Lotus Bloom to play Phyrexian Unlife. Then we could bounce Phyrexian Unlife with a cryptic command off of our Jace. Ah, there's the City of Brass as well. Alright, so at least we know what he drew. Nimble, 1 turn too late. Otherwise it would have been great. So we can also theoretically win by just getting him down to 0 life and then bouncing that Phyrexian Unlife. Sleight of hands. He's safe from most counter spells here right now. Yeah, I would go for it as well, I think. Especially because we topped. He's got 3 mana left, so City of Brass resolves, and then we're gonna counter scroll. Obviously, if he top decked a Pact of Negation here, that would have been, or that would be just horrible for us. So what I think I'm going to do now is play Jace, or use Jace, bounce the Lotus Bloom instead of the Phyrexian Unlife, because that will probably buy us more time. Attack first, because he could be using Echoing Truth in response. And then I'm gonna return the Lotus Bloom, draw a card, because that will definitely keep him from going off during the next couple of turns. Don't think he wants to crack here. And then we can counter. Oh, he cracks. Okay. So he's gonna Echoing Truth. Probably the Jays, I assume. So now he's looking for mana again. We're okay. Basically looking for a way to bounce that Phyrexian life. Lord. Okay. Interesting. Going one up first before we're going one down again. Yeah. So he's still going to be going to 0, and our aim is still to go after Phyrexian life. And we have it potentially right now. Just need to find a cryptic command. Close. Put a card on top. So probably a land. Let's see what he scries. I would use Fear the Ruin in order to get the 2 cards on the bottom. Alright. So I think I'm gonna go after black mana though. Despite the fact that I'm getting rid of the top decked. Okay, logic knots. Damn this shit. Damn this shit. Alright, his upkeep. I'm gonna make him discard. One could say, of course, that we can't lose because our Nimble counters the triggered ability of Lightning Storm, but I think the way it's worded is that various triggers go on the stack. Okay. So we would have Snapcaster Mage counterspell. So we're waiting for one more turn here. Because I don't think that he can get through 2 counterspells at once. Okay, Temple of Deceit. There's Spell Pierce as well. So I think we're forcing his hand until we draw a cryptic command. Destroy, and this one, because our Spell Pierce is good this turn, and probably not going to be good anytime afterwards. Alright, so discarding a Summon Spirit guy is actually pretty good. Jay's pulled so much value already, it's insane. Well, why not? Why shouldn't we? Just attack. So after all, he still needs 2 red mana sources to play. Okay, Spoils, sure. What's his name? What? Okay, I think he's out of win conditions. Because he just exiled 2 Summon Spirit Guides, Lightning Storm, so his last win condition should be Laboratory Maniac, and that's just not gonna cut it. Also discarded a there we go. There we fucking go. So if we do it now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because in his turn, he could theoretically still go off, right? Against Ad Nauseam, it's better to do it during our turn. Then he could also replay it if he can counter it. But how should he be able to counter this? Still gonna wait for his upkeep, just to make sure. Oh, this is even better. Tough game, tough game. So we're gonna go after his mana. I also want to add this. So this one's good. Definitely not any of these. Collective Brutality, yes. Surgical, yes. Just slightly too many cards. I think Ionize is too clunky. Grim Lavamancer is alright. Could also be thinking about a Braid, of course, because he does have a couple of... actually... He won a Braid over 1 Snapcaster Mage. Our opponent's on mulligan. I assume that he's just looking for ley lines. Yeah, very aggressively mulliganing here. Because he saw the that we're playing a couple of discard spells. Alright, so mana is fine. Now we only need to find something to put pressure onto him. Sure. So some of the best rolls would be Jace. Put one card to the top, one card to the bottom. I'm gonna wait till next turn with my Inquisition because I don't want him to have top decked something relevant here, and then we can't respond to it anymore. Yep. So despite Ad Nauseam being a 5 mana card and us not playing Thoughtseize, it's still fine to have Inquisition in order to get rid of all the zero mana counter magic. So that's actually pretty good. So we get to take something from his hand, and his hand is just blanks. Which is a little bit surprising, I have to say. That's not even a card that we got from him. Be right back. Alright, we're back. Our opponent's passed the turn. He's got 5 mana, so I'm opting to not fetch here, because in that moment he could go Ad Nauseam, and if he does have a Pact of Negation in hand as well, then that's just not good for us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. So with this on the stack, we could go Kolaghan's Command, right? Because he's taking one of our counter spells anyway, so it does not really matter if we wait here or not. Hello. Because if he does have a Pact of Negation and his Ad Nauseam in hand, then we are going to die. But apparently he does not. Swan Song, well, that's almost as good, but he was 1 mana short. And I guess now we can also just opt. No, we can't. Still does have Nauseam. Oh, fuck. Am I recording again? Yes, right. So 1-2, 1-2, 3. We could force him to use ad nauseam here. I'm not 100% sure to which degree that makes sense. Doesn't make sense. He cannot go off, right? No, I think it's actually fine if we were to go here. Let's see. If we do it in his upkeep, does that change anything? Yes, of course it does. Never mind. Because then he would have Leyline of Sanctity. That makes it easier. Chochi was gonna mulligan in for it. Alright, so now we have a clock on board. We can actually use the tar pit to threaten him for 5 turn. Then it's a 3-turn clock. And I think now we got him. There's Lab Maniac. Do we care for that? Oh yeah. One, two, three, four. So another win condition's gone. Spreading seas, eh? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go after Urborg. No, actually not. After Seacron Coast. So in case he draws a Phyrexian Unlife, the only card that saves him here off the top, then he has to use City of Brass, which will kill him. Therefore, I think we leave him with no outs here. Good games. So let's have a look in the meantime at our sideboard again. Up until now, I was very pleased with the addition of Spreading Seas as well. Almost in every of our matchups, it was at least decent, if not good. A Braid, don't know if we really need that. It's better against like Bile decks, of course, but I think that's probably just a little too much. And well, we haven't met any graveyard synergetic strategies yet, so let's see how that works out. Kraba Cortoni. All right. I wonder if the programmers. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Field of Ruin Relic. What the fuck is going on here? So I think we're gonna go after the other relic here. Then when he wants to crack that, we're gonna get that with Nimble, and next turn just go after Thirst for Knowledge. Okay, so opponent has no clue what's going on. There's a Flooded Strand, so I hope to catch that one. Colonnade. Colonnade also means that he does have access to Cryptic next turn, potentially. Not necessarily, of course. So we're incentivizing him to either use his field or his Flooded Strand. I think he's gonna fetch first, yes. Good that we're having all the good draws here again. Alright. I'm still going for an island. Perfect. So he was digging for a land card here. And we know he has a Supreme Verdict, so I imagine... Hello. Why is the internet so fucking slow today? Yes, I would like to pay to live. Yes, please. Hello. Alright. I'm moving again. Just a second. Alright, I think the sound quality might have a decrease here, but the internet quality has increased. So just try not to make any more noises.
So we know about these two cards, nothing else. He's 5 cards right now. 5 cards is quite the amount, but he should definitely draw a couple of dead cards as well, just like our Terminates. 1, 2, 3. Not yet enough. 2 more and playing Creeping Carpet out here. Need 1 more mana. Okay. Alright, so Spell Pierce makes it even more important for us to still counter the Flooded Strand. It's still a 2-for-1 for us. So even if we can't get our Nimble back from our graveyard because of that relic, I'm still good with this exchange. And apparently our opponent is not willing to use any removal spell on our lone Grim Lavamancer here, which I like a lot. I'm not gonna fetch because maybe we want to protect something like a lightning bolt down the road. Thirst for knowledge, sure. If he's looking for lands, and discard the Supreme Viridian. And discard the Flooded Strand. Sure. I really have to say I love Grim Lavamancer. I just love it. Don't love Fatal Push though. We've drawn all of our removal basically. But I guess it gets pathed. No, still not. Okay. What do we have here? So Snapcaster for Thirst of Knowledge. Yep. I do not see a big deal. Interesting that he's playing 4 Relic of Progenitus plus Thirst of Knowledge plus Snapcaster. Thirst for Knowledge, excuse me. Discarding Path and the Plains. So is Ori another Colonnade? Right. Well, I do see the advantages of having, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 mana, 5 plus 1. Sorry, this is 8. So it does not really matter if we terminate or fatal push. Sure. So we're going with the more mana inefficient possibility here. Now, Snapcaster Mage probably makes it so that we want to force him to do something. He's doing something by himself already. Alright. So if everything goes south here, I'm gonna fatal push my own Grim Lavamancer because I don't want him to have 3 things. Okay, that was too easy. Somehow. That was way too easy. Okay, Logic Knot's basically dead here. So much clear. Still did a very fine job here, our Grim Lavamancer. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. Logic Knot's just so super dead here. It's insane. Another timely reinforcements. That's actually not okay. We only have a basic land to fetch remaining. I think we're rather waiting for Kolaghan's command, which we haven't really seen yet. One, two, three, 6, 9 mana. Now he's got a feudal run. Great. I still have another swamp to get off of that. Okay. Yeah, two Nimbles are gone. There's K command, that is good. Honestly, I do believe I mean, obviously he just wants to get a Planeswalker out. Therefore, I'm just gonna let him do this. Because we have two removal spells. And we're just gonna kill it with whatever's left. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're on parity here. Still have all of our cryptics in our deck. Two mainboard timed reinforcements is pretty nasty, I have to admit. So the obvious choice here is Kolaghan's Command. He would only not take it if he had like significantly better options at countering us. Obviously, we do have a problem as soon as he... Alright. Now he's gonna use his field. Yeah. Then we're gonna go with this. Spell Snare. Let's see. We got one more that is incoming. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 3. I think we're gonna counter this. This is gonna be black though. So we need to be careful from those colonnades now that we almost wasted all of our removal. Still have all 3 K commands in ours 27. And I think I would take a colonnade hit here, which he apparently wants to go with. Beginning of combat. Return draw. If he wants to go into a fight over it, yeah, that's fine. Alright. Jace is not really good enough here anymore. I'm just going to play the Polluted Delta out. We don't have any fetchable targets anymore. Just going to play it out in order to have targets for our Logic Knots. And I hope that he's going to attack again. Played an island. We're both pretty low in terms of time already. He cannot win this counter war. So we still know that he does have at least one more cryptic card in hand, a cryptic command. And we have two counter spells. One, two, three. Probably not four. Four. Five. All right. Now we should have him. Um, whew. All right. So this one, Commandeer, Terminate, not a thing. This one also not a thing. Grim Man's probably good enough to keep us off of that Vendilion click, which should just be a one-off. Therefore, I'm not too concerned. Maybe just one Spreading Seas though. Actually, yeah, Spreading Seas gives. No, one Terminate's good enough. It's really difficult to mana screw a blue-white opponent. Speaking of mana screw, this is what I meant. Like, it's so insanely often that. was like, lol. Celestial Purge. Well, that doesn't do anything. Kills Grim Lavamancer maybe, but nothing else. So could also go with the Thirst of Knowledge, of course, so that he plays Serum Visions, but that will probably improve his chances of drawing whatever he wants. Alright, so let's try it. Top deck. Counterspell? No. Alright. Because now our opponent really has... Okay, Field of Ruins. Annoying. Cool. Is he gonna discard that Celestial Purge yet? Yeah. So I'm not gonna do anything here right now because I don't want him to play a Planeswalker. So how could this go really south? Of course, if you play Fulminator Mage, he does have a counterspell already, which is probably negate. Let's see. Yeah, very good. Very good. There we go. Just through the Mana League. All the other stuff is very annoying, of course, but I think the Tension Sphere is something that we cannot allow to be here. I think he needs to crack that thing soon, therefore I'm gonna keep my horses close by. Leaf spell snares negate, of course, very strong. If we draw a fetch land, then we can force him to use it. Relic. I assume Snapcaster Mage is the correct pick here. We're trying to find a nimble obstructionist. Or another. Nah, Fulminator Mage actually isn't really good here. But we're also on a mulligan to 5, which is of course unfortunate. Climbed somewhat back into the game, but to get around these 3 counterspells alone will be very annoying, very difficult. I don't know what he's doing right now, but we thankfully overtook him in time again. Fetch land into Nimble would be like one of the best sequences for us, because then we could go fetch, activate Jace. He would have to respond with cracking, and then we can nimble the crack, have Inquisition take the spell snare, and then we're kind of afloat. But what a great game. I love Control Mirrors. I just love them. Some of the best Magic ever. And this is also what I play Magic for. Like, you're trying to strategize, you're trying to outplay your opponent, not only like deal 20 damage in like 2 turns, 3 turns without any remorse. But our opponent's taken quite some time here. Almost 3 minutes, I think, altogether. The problem is that with that many counter spells on his side, we can't really generate any card advantage through our usual means. Just card filtering. And that's fine for the time being. And the Fulminator Mage, otherwise, like if we did have some mana open, I would have kept it around and just attacked with it. But since we were tapped out and he was threatening to play a Jace potentially in his turn, I think just getting rid there of the Colonnade, especially when we knew that he was also stuck on mana, is pretty decent. Come on, opponent, what's going on here? So Commandeer also hasn't been in action yet. Maybe that's just. But in these control mirrors and against Tron specifically, it's just such a good card. Of course not if you're just mulliganing all the time. Yeah, but this is like how far Modern has gone on Moto. Like blue-white control is playing 4 Relic of Progenitus because even with that much sideboard hate against Dredge and Pheonix, you just can't win. And Relic is, I mean, it's okay, I guess, against both, but it's not even good. And Kraba Cortoni. What's going on here, mates? Oh, it's our turn. There's a fetch land. Now, since we haven't drawn a nimble yet, I think we're just going to discard that one. The only good thing here is that with our opponent being stuck on mana, he cannot play any win conditions and do something important. So now we could actually force him to crack his relic, but still, I don't really want to do that. Cryptic. Huh. I think I'm just going to discard Cryptic here. Like our opponent's got too much counter stuff going on. We have too little. So now is our time, I think. We activate Jace, he has to pop the relic. Then we go Fulminate a Mage. And even if he does have a counterspell like Mana Leak isn't good enough by itself, and he does not have the mana to do more. Spell Snare at this point becomes irrelevant. Yes, okay. And then we discard from Lavamancer. So now Mana League, of course, becomes a dead card, and I think we filled our graveyard again. He does have severe mana issues. There's a Mana Leak and a Negate in his hand. Oh, let's wait for one more turn. lightning bolt. So he's gonna negate our shit. Therefore, we're gonna go Fulminator this thing. And then flip Jace. Go Kolaghan's command. Fulminator, kill the thing with Fulminator. Lol. Okay. Never mind. Apparently our opponent brought in some sideboard spice. But, well, getting the Fulminator Mage here, I guess it's alright, but certainly isn't good. Well, and now he 2-for-1 himself. Which I guess is fine as well, but not really where you want to be. Alright, this time I do not want to have this thing. So, Kolaghan's command. Return discard. Cryptic, okay. There we go. Now we do have a decent setup. We also do have the Jace. Colonnade cannot attack yet. What's that? Detention Sphere? Time reinforcement, sure. But by now, he's only got 3 minutes left, and he still needs to win somehow, so we're just snacking these things off. Because it's not a big deal. This one. And this one. Then this one. And we take one. Yes. So we're on the offense again, which is a good place to be. Just a good place to be. There's Commandeer. Yes. But we have to discard 2 cards, which of course is suboptimal. I think I want to get down Snapcaster Mage. Serum Visions. Snap comes down. Snap ionize. Ionize him. Pass turn. Now he could have a Teferi, of course. And he does. Maybe not. Maybe he does. Maybe not. Maybe he does. I think we have a Cryptic on top. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I know. Sorry. Of course, not a Cryptic on top. Rumbling in, rumbling in. So we have a better clock than our opponent. We only need 2 more turns. Our opponent does need at least 3. Oh, and if you just want to time out here, that's fine by me as well. Now we get there. Again, try to activate now. We nimble it. Perfect. Field of Ruin. Good games. Oh my goodness. 2 blue cards from our hand. One, two, three. Sure. Alright, we're just having him out now. Like, we would win this anyway, but I don't want him to just press forward and... Good games. So 4-0 going into the last round here. That was quite a marathon there. Well, the later in the stages we get, the better we get. Like 2-1, 2-1, 2-0, 2-0. Now it's probably 0-2, as it always is. The video is already 2.5 hours. Wonder, like, you can tell me in the end if you really watched all of the video. Comment below. Oh yeah, I met Laplacian in Barcelona, Bilbao as well. He was in the last round, in round 15. He was playing right beside me, and he was wearing a jersey with Laplacian on it. And I hadn't ever seen him before, but I always play against him here on Moto. And over the years, we've um, established some sort of companionship. We also played before this on Moto on another platform for free, and there we were always the first and second in the leaderboard. And so it was quite fun to see him. I looked some sort of weird because I only slept 3 hours and I had like bad hair day, but other than that, it was pretty fun. All right, Jeff. Jeff is probably playing not Grixis. Is it Pheonix? I would assume. Oh, he's playing Tron. Alright, so if he's playing Tron, then. And he started off with the Forest, then I'm probably gonna go with Warrior Grave Inquisition start here. Oh, what the fuck? So you're just hoping? Is that your strategy? So we're taking the Stirrings, hope that he doesn't find a land drop, and then counter the shit out of what he's got left. So that is weird. Um, him having the ability to play an expedition map here, but refuses to do so in order to play a relic. Well, alright. That was a pretty loosey-goosey hand that he kept there. Nope. Not going to happen. Field of Ruin, yes. I think this one's pretty locked up. So, don't actually have a problem with the expedition map. He's gonna crack it on his turn, I believe. Obviously, we're gonna counter that. Alright. That's also alright, of course. I don't like, he's not playing this very well, in my opinion. Why would he just not crack the expedition map instead of doing all of this and exposing him to additional counter magic. Like, it can't be more probable that your opponent's having nimble obstructionist in hand over the possibility that he does have counter magic. I think I'm gonna play Jace. Finally cracking it. Still thinking about it. So much fun. Also, of course, you're exposing your thing to a potential Kolgan's command, which is also not ideal. Do we need to terminate? No. Sure. Welcome to my world, motherfucker. Yeah, why not? You dead. You dead. So, did anyone ever manage to keep Tron on 3 lands for the entirety of a game? Good games. So, don't want to have fail push. I want to have Commandeer. Yes, guys, Commandeer. Spreading Seas is a thing. Fulminator Mage is a thing. He is going to bring in Surgical's also alright, but maybe we don't even need that. He's going, so Graveyard Hate, yes. Spell Pierce also, well, on the draw is pretty alright still, despite the fact that our opponent's probably just gonna bring in a lot of Thragtusks and that kind of jazz. So maybe Jace goes. We need to keep Terminates around. And then still have a little bit of a removal for the other stuff. But here I would like to have a Braid actually. So Braid better than a Lightning Bolt. Or better than a Terminate. Probably better than a Terminate because the only card that really is problematic is Thragtusk. Okay, turn 2, Spreading Seas incoming. So 2 relics, Chromatic Store, Warm Coil Engine, and he again just kept a 1-lander. It's like What's going on with you, mates? Like, that's so insanely greedy that I cannot even begin to describe. Okay, he still has 2 relics in hand and a worm call engine. Oh. So let's have a look here. Bottom and probably top. So he needs to crack it now, this time, because he knows about our nimbles. And of course, the aim is to, yes, on the one hand, of course, keep him off of so it might actually be better to go with Kolgan's command here over our Fulminator Mage, but he could just stumble into Tron by accident, and that by itself is just enough of a problem for me to preemptively like do something. Also, Snapcaster Mage, I mean, if he taps out, we're just gonna kill and get Fulminator Mage back. Now, see, he would have stumbled into Tron without doing anything. That's just the retardedness of this deck. And now he also has a Sylvan Scrying. That would be, oh my goodness. Motherfucker. That's pretty good. I cannot, like, I really cannot believe what's going on here. Like that he's just over and over drawing this stuff. So he does have an insane amount of mana as well next turn. We're just trying to find more land here, which we didn't. So Snapcaster Mage is just gonna come in by the end of turn. Insane. And now we're just and only relying on this Snapcaster Mage to win us the game. Oh, maybe just one. Okay. Actually, that's pretty alright as well. So if he finds another mine, then he would Let's see. It does not have access to green yet, therefore I don't actually want it to. Fuck you. Fuck you. Seriously. But that's only 9 mana. That's not Ulamog mana. No, actually, that can't be. That's not correct. Eight. So I guess no Ulamog after all. And then for 3, he might be bring in Oblivion Stone. But we don't have another option here. We need to counter draw. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. We take his mine. 3 mana left. Could also go after his tower, but we already gotten rid of all the other stuff. And I'm inclined to get a black source here. He's got one more mine in his entire deck. This one's not going to work out for you. Perfect. So now we even have Nimble and Logic Knot up. I think I'm just gonna Logic Knot here. And then play the Nimble. Because then it's a 2-turn clock. And we should be good. This is just insanity. Honestly, what the fuck is going on here? 14, 15. So it's Walking Ballista? Don't tell me this is Emrakul. Fuck. What is happening? Do I care? No, I don't think so. There's Emrakul. It really is Emrakul. Okay, so we're gonna counterbounce because shit. He's gonna kill both of our creatures. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Alright, so let's see. If we bolt him, then Colligan's command our Snapcaster Mage. We're 1 mana short. Just winning on the spot here. Fuck. Could of course also just hope to draw a fuck. That is the most lucky shit I've ever seen. Fuck. Yeah, he's gonna kill and destroy us kill. This is just insanity. Yes. We're still not done, guys. We're still not fucking done. He's getting Ulamog as well. Yeah, the Karn as well. Alright, so we know what's left. We could just go counterbalance the Sanctum. If we do that though, I think we might be dead anyway. We can theoretically beat a Wormcoil Engine, but then we're just left to our top deck. And he still has 6 mana to play it right now, so I guess, okay, go for it. He's making us discard. We need to counter draw here. That's just insanely lucky on every fucking metric. Every fucking metric. I cannot even believe it. So lucky. And now we're done. this shit. So Cryptic into Snapcaster Mage. Okay. That was not fair. That was not deserved. But anyhow, we're back at it. This time he has even a good hand. And Emrakul as well. Already. I actually think we're going to go after the tower here. Let him have the Sylvan Scrying, so that in case we draw a fuck you. This is just unreal. What the actual fuck is going on here? This is just unreal. Fucking shithole. 8. Can he do something with 8? Now he's 2 types of cards in his graveyard, so 8 should not be enough. I do not believe shit anymore. Yeah, great. Here's Ulamog. Right there. We're done. Tron is such a stupid strategy. Oh my goodness. Well, he also does have the mana for Emrakul now. It's indestructible, yeah. This is just so insane. Oh my goodness. So my God. Okay, you cannot destroy a whole lot because our hand's just so bad. Also need to figure out 3 cryptics, lightning bolt. This is so undeserved. Well, anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it. This was actually a 5-0 league that we got betrayed by. I think the deck was doing a pretty good job, but I'm so fucking mad right now. Well, have a good day, guys, and a good week.